Hi, and welcome to our webinar today. Today's topic is Solibri Office, and there's a lot of great news in Solibri Office. One of the news is the integration with ACC, and that's the main topic for the webinar today. We will look at the integration and how the ACC, Autodesk Construction Cloud, can be a host for the models for Solibri Office. We will go through some tips and tricks on how to set up the integration, and also look at the workflow for issues between Solibri and ACC, and also workflow for collisions in ACC or in Solibri, what's best when. We will also take a sneak peek at Solibri Checkpoint. There is a new application out from Solibri, which is web-based, compared to Solibri Office, which is application you install on your computer. There's a lot of nice news there as well, and also with the integration to ACC. And in the end, we will have Q&A. I will not be alone in this webinar. I have with me Thomas Nyrud and Roger Feste, who will do the main demonstrations of the applications. Some practical info before we are going on. It will last for approximately 40 minutes. Stay with us to the end. We will have Q&A at the end of the webinar, and you can place questions now. You have a question field lower right in my computer at least, where you can put on some questions for us, and we will look at them at the end of the webinar. Feel also free to send us emails afterwards, or contact your local contact in your country. And the webinar will be recorded. I will also show how you can find it at the last part of the webinar. Then we will go on with the demonstration, and Thomas is starting with Solibri Office.
Thank you, Paul. So as Paul mentioned, I'm going to take you through some of the key release notes for Solibri, and this is the version 25.3.0. Starting off, I'm going to show you the top three, or the three things that I'm going to mention today, and hopefully this is going to be a good segue into the last part, which is the ACC integration within Solibri. So first of all, the ITO formulas, which is a new feature, allows you to create formulas in both the ITO space and also the classification. This means that you can create formulas for instance, calculating values, summarizing things. A lot of formula suggestions can be added, or they will auto suggest when you type in. That is one of the biggest changes in this release. The next one is the measurement tool, and the measurement tool, if you have worked in Solibri before, you know that it has been quite hard to work with, or it could be hard to work with. They've done a really fantastic job of creating this new measurement tool, which allows you to do, as you see on the screen, length, path length, angle, face area, polygon, volume, and coordinate. So everything really in one tool gives you a nice, good overview when you do measurements as well. As you can see in the picture, you have a track of what you've been measuring and also the value of it. You can hide, unhide the individual types, and you can delete individual measurements. So a great news. And for the last part, we have the ACC integration, and this is nothing new, but it's an improved integration, and especially for the BCF Live connector, which I'm going to show in a minute. But basically what this enables is that you can have issues in ACC, and you can view them in Solibri, and you can also push issues back into ACC. Now, there are some limitations at this point, but this is an improving implementation. And as you can see on the last bullet point, the issue integration has been implemented in the BCF-like connector, but as Autodesk issues aren't based on the BCF standard yet, there are some things that we need to take into account. So I'm gonna run through some of these settings that we need to apply in order to have this to work. So I'm gonna start off with just minimizing this one and opening ACC. So this is the account admin view. So you have to be an account admin. So when we're talking about the integration of Solibri or ACC to Solibri, we need to make a bridge between the two applications. So in the ACC area, you can go to account admin, and then underneath apps, you'll have to search for Solibri. Now, when I say search, there's no search function, but you can use the Control F on your keyboard, and you can type in Solibri, and it should pop out. So right now, this is activated for this account, Symmetry Norway. And once you click on it, you can go ahead and activate this function. So this app needs to be activated for your account. Now, later in this webinar, my colleague Roger is going to talk about Solibri Checkpoint. And for that, you also need the Checkpoint app activated in your ACC account. So just a reminder. Okay, once that is activated, we can jump into Solibri and have a look there. So in Solibri, we have something called integrations. And what you will be able to do is to connect with your ACC or BIM 360 account. Once you do that, you have the possibility when you click on Open Models to actually choose ACC or BIM 360. So if I click on this one, now I've recently viewed a project, so it will remember that path. That is why this Solibri file shows up. But essentially, you can pick your server on top, and then you can choose your project. And also, you have all your project folders within your ACC project. So this should be familiar if you're working in ACC. So I'm going to open this project. So a couple of more things that we have to talk about when we have this integration from ACC. That is that you have the possibility to look at the version up here in the model tree. And also, if I go to the update models, we have the possibility to look at where the file is deriving from. And as you can see, it is pointing to BIM 360 and the path to the folder where I just picked it up. Now, the benefits for this is that whenever a new IFC comes along sometime in the near future, this can be automatically prompted if I want to, or I can have it automatically update or manually if I want to. And also what this enables is that previously if you picked a file on your computer, that locked the IFC path to your computer, but this enables any user in the ACC project to actually do this update. Yeah, so that's really nice. Moving on, we have the BCF Live connector, which is this the last tab. And as you can see, when I click on the connect, I now have a new tab over here called ACC/BIM 360 servers. That is where we're heading today. And I'm going to choose my account and I'm going to find my project. and I'm going to start the synchronization. Now, while that is synchronizing, I'm going to jump back into ACC, and we have to talk about some settings for issues in ACC. So when creating an issue in Solibri and wanting to have it in ACC or vice versa, you need, or there are some labels and information in that issue that you have to customize. You have to add some customized fields in order to have values in them. So I've added priority, labels, and stage, and these are the types that you see in the middle. And I've added some values on each, except for labels. It actually needs information on description at this point. So these are your typically disciplines like architectural, construction, electro, etc. And yeah, stage. So these settings you can put in on your project, and then I'll show you how this looks when we create an issue. So that is what I'm going to do now. Just to give a brief description of what we're looking at, this is an IFC file, and it's the same IFC file that you saw me opening here in Solibri. So this is the same building, the same file. You see version 5, it's the same as you saw in my model tree. So I'm gonna create an issue. I'm gonna create a section here first. I'm gonna zoom in a bit, and I'm gonna randomly pick this area to create an issue. I'm gonna go on my issue icon over here, and I'm gonna use my design type. Once that is selected, I can click on an object, and I can just give it a brief, some text describing the issue. This room, maybe size of room. And I am also going to give it a description. The size is too big. Please fix. That is an excellent description, I might say. And yeah, I'm not going to do much more. Maybe I'll have a glance over at labels. This is maybe an architectural label or an interior label, something like that. These are connected to my custom fields, as I already showed you. So architectural, and the priority, I can set it to maybe medium. And the stage for this is my design, or our design phase or stage. Yeah. Okay. I've created the issue, filled in some information. I can have a look at the thumbnail. Looks nice. Number 138. If I jump back now to Solibri, I should be able to find that same issue here in my list. So I already see the title, size of room. I can click on it. And once I do that, Solibri will focus on the same place that I just created a push pin, as we say. So this push pin is recognized in Solibri when we create it in ACC. So as you can see, we have the information that I entered. We have status, we have a stage, we have priority, and we have the label. So everything is added in the issue. And now I'm going to attempt to create an answer for this issue. So now I'm in Solibri, I got this issue. This is my responsibility, or I have to at least take a stance on it. And for that, I'm going to, first of all, just try and use the measurement tool and show you how easy it is. I'm going to use this in in the issue. So I'm gonna just click on the wall, click on where it's ending up, and there I have some measurements. I can do, this is probably just silly, but I can do the angle if I want to. And I can also, for good measure, create a markup with a text on it. Let's see. Something like that. Doesn't need to be anything more. And I can go ahead now and go to comments. Or actually, I can add the image first. So I can add the image. Click on the image icon. And then I'll go to comments. And I can add the comment for maybe please look closer. Now, I know that these are kind of a silly issues, but it's just to give you an example of how we can do this. So while I'm talking and giving a comment, you can see that the sync status is processing. And if I go, oh, now it's actually done. If I go into ACC again, I can refresh this page. And it should show now an update on that same issue. So let it just load a bit. Now, if I scroll down, I should see the comment. So this is the comment that I did. And also I have now a snapshot. So I can click on this one. This will open a new tab and open that specific snapshot. And this brings me on to the next topic, which is the, here we see it. The second setting that you need to be aware of in ACC in order for this loop to function. So in order for me to publish this image back into ACC, I need to have a folder which is called Solibri issue files. So whenever you create an issue in Solibri, that being like I did now, I answered to an issue and I synced it up to ACC. And I add the picture or the snapshot rather will end up here. So this folder you also need to have if you want to communicate back into ACC. Now, the third and last option I want to show you is the if I've done any checking and I create a BCF file. So I'm gonna create a presentation here in communication, and we have one. I've just added a simple clash, or yeah, you can see the components here. They are too close to each other, and I want to have this in a BCF file just to show you how it's going to look when I do the BCF way. Just going to call it something simple, and yeah, on the desktop that's fine. Save it, and back into ACC I can go to back into my model, and I can go into my issue list, and I can here import my BCF file. I'm going to choose my BCF files. And I think I'm going to assign them to Roger because he's next. And here I can see some information. I see the title, the status, description, type, and so on. And I'm going to import it. So while this is importing, I'm going to have a brief recap for you. So first of all, install the apps Solibri if you are connecting to Solibri. This enables the integration that we showed in the beginning. When you open a new model, you can have it directly into BIM 360. This enables the versions, the version tracking, and if there are any updates, it will update by itself if you want to. And also when you connect to BCF Live Connector, you saw the connection between ACC and Solibri. Now, some settings to be aware of: customized field, priority labels, and stage. Those are the three labels or three information areas that you can add to Solibri so that it translates, the translation is correct. And by now, I think the BCF file is loaded, and here I see the issue that was inside that BCF file. So this is a bit more. This is a bit more information than the previous workflows that I showed. You now have the actual push pin and the objects and every bit of information that was in Solibri. So that is also a way to go. Okay, now, Roger.
No,
You
it's
wanna...
not Roger. It's me first.
Oh, it's Paul first. Sorry. Are you ready, Paul?
I'm ready.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. That was very good. What we will do now is to give you an idea of an workflow that you might use. Let's say you are working in a Revit, you're architect or engineering. You also have collision control in ACC. That is very good to control your own model against the other disciplines. And when you do that, you can put the issue to yourself, and then you get the issue back into Revit. You can push on the issue and you go directly into the model. You can correct it. And by following this workflow, you will have less collisions and issues in the project in general, because you are then correcting it during your job in Revit. So this is quite good workflow. As we mentioned, ACC can be the host for the Solibri files, the IFC files, also the SMC file from Solibri, and also the Revit file for sure. And if you then take the next step with Solibri Office, you can do the collision between all disciplines in addition to run rule checks, takeoff. You have a lot more functionality in Solibri Office when it comes to it. But for your own control, you can also use ACC if you already have it to limit the amount of collisions in the project. So that could be a good way of working. I see that there's coming in some questions. We will answer them in the end, just for information. Then I think we are ready for Roger.
Thank you. I'll just find the correct window to share. Yeah, I will give you a sneak peek for Solibri Checkpoint, the web-based Solibri version. This is the login page where you have the option to log in with Autodesk, which I would recommend if you are using ACC, because then you will have the integrations up and going. So when you then get into Solibri Checkpoint, you will have this project list. The project list will show you if it's a ACC project or if it's just a Solibri Checkpoint project. So if I click on new project, you can then see you want to add a new project, which is a plain Solibri project, Procore, or Autodesk. This is really helpful to keep things separated, and you can also then use the features connected to the different platforms within integrations. When you go into a specific project, it looks like this. It's a little bit different than Solibri Office. You have, since I have connected this to ACC, I have the same folder structure like in ACC. I have the work in progress folder and all the different disciplines. I can also see all the different files. And one of the important things is that you can use IFC files, but also RVT files. So you can use both. And that's pretty neat that you can are able to do that. And if you go into build model sets, here I have created different models combined. So you click on architecture and ventilation or plumbing. I can then look at the models and I can then switch on and off, and this is Revit models. So it's really easy to use IFC files and Revit files across each other directly from ACC. Pretty nice and easy to do that. And of course, you have all the usual functionalities with sectioning. You can create issues, element properties, and all that. You can see the Revit properties within Solibri as well. Then I'll go into the data viewer. The data viewer is a little bit different than usual. It's used for a lot of different things within Checkpoint. So this is basically a kind of a mix between takeoff or ITOs in Solibri Office and also the result overview. So if you go in here, you have different data views. So you can create your own different views. Is one for IFC, one for Revit. And it's important to just think about that because it's different properties in Revit files and in IFC files. So like you see, there are different views for Revit and different views for IFC. So you can just click play on run the view, and it will extract the information you have put into the different columns. And if I want to sort it in any specific way, I can sort it by level, just drag and drop it up to group by level. Would like to group it for something else, just drag and drop into the grouping area. Quite easy to just do that. If you want to export anything, you can just tick off some of the information within the table, and you can then export the information to CSV or Excel, so you can work on it later on. And that makes it a lot similar to ITO, like Solibri Office. And if you need to create an issue, you're also able to do that here. And that is also connected to ACC if you would like to. We'll coming back to that later. So then you have filters. Filters are used a little bit different as well. Here you have filters for floors and slabs, because Revit use floors and IFC use slabs. So if I would like to create a filter and look at that filter, I use it, and in the data view, it's all changed to be only regarding the floors. And I can see on the right side, what is this filter consisting of? So you can then choose the properties, property sets, all that. You can start to use and/or logic to be able to filter out whatever you need. And the reason you want to do the filtering is that when you're going into the rules, you will then also actually in many times you will actually use the specific filtering. So if I go on the clash rule for walls versus pipes, I can see that the base target is walls in IFC, walls in Revit, but also pipes in IFC and pipes in Revit. So it's kind of a double filtering done, but if you have done the filters already, it's a lot easier to reuse that information. So I will just run this clash rule. It's running the filtering, and in the data view also now changes into results. So if I now go into a specific view, I can see here this is a collision. I can also see that this pipe is going into the wall. And if I would like to create an issue, I'm able to do that, tick it off, and create issue. And then fill in the information you would like. And like you see, I have all the same issue types that are within ACC. The statuses and all that are able to just pick directly from ACC, also the users. I can assign to the correct people. And the first time you will need to connect to the issue provider up here. So issue provider, BIM, it could be ACC, BIM 360 Procore, or Solibri Checkpoint. That will handle the issues. So it's quite easy to just work between ACC and the Solibri Checkpoint. It's not perfect yet. This is the version 1. So there are some limitations to this yet, but they are working on the APIs to improve it even more. But it's really easy for you to work with Solibri Checkpoint without having a great computer with a lot of power. So this will actually help you solve those things pretty easily. So I can just put in some information here. Collision. I can just assign it to Paul. Will get this one. Save. Saving the viewpoints and everything, and it will then appear in ACC. So now go into ACC. I will then see the collision right away. And all the information I put in is here, and I also have the snapshot from Checkpoint available. So it works a bit like the Solibri Office integration right now. And that was actually it. A very quick sneak peek of Checkpoint, but this will open up a lot of possibilities. This improved even more with using IFC and Revit files across the platforms.
Thank you, Roger. I can see that there is coming in questions. That's very good. We are coming to the questions in few minutes. Just a fast summary. Thomas showed us what's new in Solibri Office, how it is connected to ACC. And I think he come with quite a lot of good tips and tricks. And I can see from the questions that we have to answer some of them around it. We also have the sneak peek of Solibri Checkpoint, and I can also see there's questions on how this is working against ACC, so we will answer it in a few seconds. We are coming to Q&A, but before I'm taking up the Q&A, I will just inform you that we can support you with a lot of things around Solibri and ACC, with the training, with the integration, setup of the systems. And if you go to our website for your country, you will find a tab with named services. And there you can find a lot of the services we are delivering to our customers. If you can't find it there, contact us and we'll probably be able to help you with that as well. I also said that it will be recorded. If you go to the website, Insights, you will find a video library. You will also will find this recording. It will probably be available mid next week, I guess. Then let's look at the questions that came up. The first one I think I can answer, and that is, does it work on Solibri Anywhere? No, it is not working with Solibri Anywhere. You need Solibri Office if you are using the integration between Solibri Office and ACC.
Mm.
The next one is, was the Solibri issue files folder automatically created on ACC? My guess it is have to be done manually, but that's up to you to answer correctly, Thomas.
Yeah, you have to create it manually. That is correct.
Yeah, and back to we can do the service of making the setup for you correct in such a way that the workflow is good for you. Also, a question: Solibri Checkpoint has nothing to do with ACC. Where are the models linked from? Is you to answer that, Roger?
Yeah,
You are
like,
answering. Okay.
yeah, I am answering.
Okay,
Solibri
I thought.
Checkpoint doesn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with ACC. The models can be, you can pick them up from ACC or Procore or OneDrive, and such, but also from the file explorer itself, from your computer. So you can put it on your desktop on your computer and get the models from there if you would like. Yeah.
You are answering both, also in written, I see. Also, a question here, it says a special license to use Solibri Checkpoint. Yes, it's a license for Solibri Checkpoint. Contact your local sales rep in Symmetry and we will help you out. And we have a few more, and that is the workflow you showed in Solibri and ACC working when 2 or more companies are bridged on ACC, how the issue views will be shared. I think we can answer that because the issue is in one of the projects. If there is a bridge, the bridge is not with issues, if I remember correctly, Roger. So
yeah,
if
the issue will stay in the project it is connected to. It will not be transferred to the other project.
That means if Solibri is connected to that project, it's working. If you want to have issues from the other project, you have to connect to that project as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
In ACC connected to Solibri, is there some automated time reporting for issue used work time, coupled cost reporting?
No, I don't think so. If I understood
so the question is actually track how much time you're using on the issue. Yeah, nothing for that right now.
No.
Should we also add that both Solibri Office, Checkpoint, and also Autodesk Construction Cloud is developed quite fast. There's a lot of things happening on both platforms. And the integration we see now is really great. It makes it much easier to have a good workflow for our customers. So that's great. But you will see a lot of new functions in the future, I think. That's what I can see from the questions. Then I think we should just say thanks for your participating in the webinar and have a really nice weekend when that is coming. Bye-bye.
Bye.